Hi students, welcome to another video of Lino Educations. Today we are seeing 10th CBSE Chemistry, chapter Metals and Non-Metals. What are the physical properties of metals and non-metals? Let's see. Metals are mostly solids and possess high density. They have high melting and boiling points. They have luster and they are sonorous. What is luster? Metals have shining surface. That property is called luster. Sonorous. Sonorous means when we will strike metal with in a hard surface. When we strike or hit metals to a hard surface, they will produce a sound. That is called sonorous. So metals are luster and sonorous. Similarly, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. So we have a table in that we have property of metals and non-metals and exceptional cases are also given. First, let's see the first property, luster. Metals have shining surface. They do not have shining surface. Non-metals do not have shining surface. Hardness. Metals are generally hard, but exceptions are there. Sodium, lithium and potassium are soft and can be cut with knife. Non-metals. It is just opposite of metals. Metals was hard, but non-metals are soft. Diamond is a non-metal, but diamond is an exception because diamond is not soft, diamond is hard. We know that diamond is form of carbon and it's a natural substance. It's the hardest natural substance. State. Metals exist as solid, but exceptional case is mercury. Mercury is a liquid in room temperature. Non-metals. Non-metals exist as solid or gaseous, but bromine is an exception. Malleability. Metals can be beaten into thin sheets, that is called malleable. Malleable means something that can be beaten into thin sheets. Here metals have that property, so metals are malleable. We know that gold and silver are most malleable metals. Non-metals. Non-metals are non-malleable, so they can't be beaten into thin sheets. Ductility. What is ductility? Ductility means can be drawn into thin wires. So metals have that property. Metals can be drawn into thin wires. But non-metals, they are non-ductile. Conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are good conductors. Come to the case of non-metals. But non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. But graphite is an exception. What that means? Graphite is a non-metal, but even though it is non-metal, it will conduct heat and electricity. Density. Generally have high density and high melting point for metals. Okay, metals have high density and high melting point. But sodium and potassium are exceptions. Come to the case of non-metals, they have low density and low melting point. Sonorous. What is the property sonorous? Metals produce sound on striking a hard surface. So, metals are sonorous, but non-metals, they are not sonorous. Oxides. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So, about oxides we have to understand that metallic oxides, they are basic in nature, but non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Metallic oxides basic in nature, non-metallic oxides acidic in nature. Next, let's see reaction with air. Metals combine with oxygen. Air means combine with oxygen. So metals combine with oxygen to form metal oxide. Metals plus O2 gives metal oxide. Here we have an example. Aluminium plus oxygen react to form aluminium oxide Al2O3. 4Al plus 3O2 gives 2Al2O3. But Au and Ag, that is silver and gold, does not react with oxygen. Different metals show different reactivities towards oxygen. Let's see. Sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium catch fire if kept in open. So they are kept immersed in kerosene. So this is an important question. Many times these questions have been asked. Why sodium and potassium kept immersed in kerosene? Its answer is sodium and potassium catch fire if kept in open. So they are kept immersed in kerosene. Iron fillings burn vigorously on heating, but iron does not burn on heating. Surface of magnesium, aluminium, zinc, lead are covered with a thin layer of oxide which prevent them from further oxidation. Next is amphoteric oxides. What is amphoteric oxides? Amphoteric oxides means metal oxides only, but metal oxides which react with both acids as well as bases to produce salts and water. So what is the products? Salts and water. That is called amphoteric oxides. Here is an example. Al2O3 plus 6HCl. HCl means acid. Al2O3 plus 2NaOH. NaOH means base. So let's see, aluminum oxide is a metal oxide, and what we will get as products when it reacts with both acids and bases. Al2O3 plus 6HCl gives 2AlCl3 plus H2O. So metal oxide react with acid to produce salts and water. Okay. Al2O3 plus 2NaOH gives 2Na AlO2 sodium aluminate plus H2O. So metal oxide react with base to produce salt and water. So these metal oxide react with both acid and base. So it is amphoteric oxide. Reaction with water. Metal plus water gives metal oxide plus hydrogen. Metal oxide plus water gives metal hydroxide. That means metal react with water to give metal oxide plus hydrogen. But again the metal oxide will react with water to give metal hydroxide. So metal react with water to give metal hydroxide. Reaction with solutions of other metal salts. So how a metal will react with solutions of other metal salts? Let's see. Suppose metal A react with salt solution of metal B to give, what it will give? Salt solution A plus metal B. So it displaces metal A, which is more reactive metal, will displace metal B from its salt solution. That is what will happen when a metal react with solutions of other metal salts. Reactive metals can displace less reactive metals from their compounds in solution form. So here is an example. Fe plus CuSO4 gives FeSO4 plus Cu. So Fe is more reactive than Cu, so Fe displace Cu from CuSO4 to give FeSO4 plus Cu. The series of metals in decreasing order of reactivity is called reactivity or activity series of metals. So here potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum all is going from top, that is potassium, to platinum, to bottom. It is decreasing. What is decreasing? Reactivity. So most reactive is potassium, then sodium, then calcium, then magnesium. The metals at top are most reactive, whereas metals at the bottom are less reactive. Metals react with dilute acids to form salt and hydrogen gas. The metal replaces hydrogen of the acid to form salt. That is aqua regia. What is aqua regia? Aqua regia means mixture of concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated HNO3 in the ratio 3:1. That is called aqua regia. Aqua regia is a mixture of concentrated HCl and concentrated HNO3 in the ratio of 3:1. Aqua regia can dissolve gold and platinum. Aqua regia is a strong oxidizing agent. Why it is a strong oxidizing agent? That is because of the formation of nitrosyl chloride and chlorine produced by reaction of two acids. Alloys. What are alloy? Alloy means homogeneous mixture of two or more metals. That is alloy. And in one of them can be non-metal also. Example. Suppose take brass. Brass is an alloy. Of what? Of copper and zinc. What is amalgam? When a metal is alloyed with mercury. So, take a metal. That metal is alloyed with mercury. That is called amalgam. When a metal is alloyed with mercury, it is called amalgam. Next is metal can displace hydrogen from dilute acids if placed above hydrogen. Metals if placed above hydrogen can displace hydrogen from dilute acids. HCl and H2SO4 dilute acids examples. Okay. Ionic compounds. Ionic compounds means what? The compounds formed by the transfer of electrons from a metal to a non-metal are called ionic compounds or electrovalent compounds. Properties of ionic compounds. Next, let's check what are the properties of ionic compounds. Physical nature. What is the physical nature of ionic compounds? Ionic compounds are solid, hard, brittle. Melting and boiling point. Come to melting and boiling point. They have high melting and boiling point. Ionic compounds are generally soluble in water but insoluble in solvents such as kerosene, petrol, etc. Come to the conduction of electricity. Ionic compounds conduct electricity in molten and solution form. Very important, but not in solid state. So what it means? Ionic compounds does not conduct electricity in solid state. Ionic compounds conduct electricity in molten and solution form only. Occurrence of metals. The elements or compounds which occur naturally in the Earth's crust are called minerals. Then what is ores? What is the difference between minerals and ores? Minerals are elements or compounds which occur naturally in the Earth's crust. That is minerals. But when minerals contain very high percentage of particular metal. So, take a mineral. In that mineral, suppose there is very high percentage of a particular metal and that metal can be extracted profitably. Then that particular mineral is called ore. So minerals that contain very high percentage of particular metal and the metal can be profitably extracted from it. Such minerals are called ores. Thank you.